A splash of strange orange, a few strands just against the straw, suggesting liminal vibrancy trapped in a near invisible detail. But thus it is with the seam of winter and spring, death and a new life. She wanted to be here, and I think she was.
Church of Anarchy says, quite truthfully, the entrance has collapsed and there is very little chance that any fragments of the old poetry will be discovered in the ruins. The milk has changed state to snow, but the white is still as bleak and hard-earned as my pa's folks used to tell tales of. Even the radio on the ledge don't know what to make of the music these days.
Hyperpoesia says, shafts and planes violate the realm of the living with their dead matter, but nothing is fully one nor the other. Even the note she penciled in the barren parlor is a precious film of organic and inorganic substance, related to the furthest blast of the Milky Way and beyond.
Church of Anarchy says, so your A is half of mine, just put a 2 in there and I'll be okay. How do we figure this out? Well, we do it like anything else in physics, with a trick. What is the spring constant of a squiggle?
Hyperpoesia says, the crows nestled in their eerie perch may be inhabited by beloveds of long ago, so speak kindly to them even when they go marauding to eat the robin's young and drive the roosting osprey out of its wits. Thought and memory were the two crows living in near broken barn, down the street from the old broken down barn, whose poems nobody remembered.
Church of Anarchy says, I'm about ready to roll, she said in a southern drawl, freshening her bright red lipstick, but I'm going to go slow. I won't squiggle if I write slow.
Hyperpoesia says, is this really all? The woman in her Arctic fox fur hat shivers in and out of the picture as the children race home to their known worlds, having had enough of ghosts for one day.
Church of Anarchy says, tri-weekly for many years, a band of spirits has given impromptu answers to the world's promiscuous questions at the Banner of Light Circle Room. The doors of that room, the walls of which are adorned with the likenesses of many spirits and prominent spiritualists, and with spirit drawings, are gratuitously open to all comers.
Hyperpoesia says, the little ghost girl with the wet blonde hair and the faded blue nightie appeared to brother and sister on separate occasions when they were about the ghost's age, 6 or so. Now they're much older and compare notes when they get together on vacations.
Church of Anarchy says, a bit of afternoon light on the doorknob. Whoever left the door open wasn't thinking about the final days of nature poetry, how it's shrugging its weary lyrical shoulders as language passes by, snorting and hooting like a crazy mama in the moon.
A Ken Speckle moment moves the ground from underneath. The sight is recognizable from another life. Long ago, a silver bracelet fell between the floorboards and was lost there. It was the only shining indulgence in an otherwise indigent life. Now it sings forever of its girlish spirit, the eros that pulsed in that ruined home.
Church of Anarchy says, in a room under the county fair, the judging takes place as speculators in cowboy hats and surgical masks huddle around the tables examining the goods. Not everything makes it above ground to the display. The most potent treasures are selected for consumption elsewhere.
Hyperpoesia says, a dream without content, a bed without form, a hand without substance, a face without features, a sound without rhythm, an orphan spirit comes in the night, asking for succor.
Church of Anarchy says, ghost seeing in the brain is always seen by the fleshly, clear-seeing presentiment, but is only momentary in such cases. No power, for I have no pleasure, and I see them frequently in approximation, and at various times I am awake and not sensible or plethoric or amused with me. My calmest bedside ghost visits me in their dreams, although not a syllable can avert my eyes from a magnetic thin cloud. I never observed moonlight. I do not know.
Hyperpoesia says, unpeopled and deforested will be your future action curse. A few sparks of straw in the snow mark your passage here. All those who want to remember do invoke the breath of spacious memory.
Church of Anarchy says, this dream, on the morning I was sent to be stabbed by a third vision of her foreknowledge and sleeping state. I see N upon the earth, and this person did die from a deep inner life, he writes in this journal, that he remembered holding his son. If I am not mistaken, my father will have forgotten. A strange and alarming anxiety against the second sight.
And here I had already written of the goat spirits that Rembrandt themselves up the snake trees in memory of their forebears, and the words melted into a glorious blank auguring the day of no day.
Consumption exhausted the better part of the generation, a swarm of journalers with no link to the outside world. Rocking chairs wrought of nature poems, creaking as the roof collapses on the metaphoric white picket fence. The smallest slice of the good life will not be remembered by words.
Nature bomb on an apex thug. Pull the blister. Where's the bone in this rack? No soft flim-flam, no copper sheets keening, but a vanished tune. Some hidden language is okay, but it may not survive on its own onanism.